Martha, thank you for making that adjustment for us. I want to begin by acknowledging our musicians, those that are in-house and those that are visiting today for the wonderful job that you all have done. We want you to know that we appreciate your ministry, the extra effort it takes to do this well. We thank you for being here. Thank you, Tyler, for your leadership. The title, as you see on the screen, is 3 Days in Damascus, but that has changed as well. We were going to talk about Paul and his journey to Damascus to persecute the Christians, but I want to talk about something else today in light of everything that is happening. That has changed, so bear with me. If I were to give this a new title, it will be Come to Me, and I will give you rest. Come to me, and I will give you rest. As you know, we are celebrating 100 years of ministry at this location. Now, in many churches, that may not be a big deal, but not at Westminster. No, it's a huge deal at Westminster, and for good reason. 100 years. I mean, can you think about it? 100 years in one place. 8 events have been planned for the 100-year celebration. 8. It started with the recognition of those who had been part of this congregation as members for at least 50 years. That was on Palm Sunday. And if you remember, they lined up and we acknowledged them and gave thanks for them. That was the first event. The second event was yesterday, open house. Can I just say that this place looks awesome? Yeah, it looks awesome. An open house. Just pause and think of what effort it takes to pull off an open house of a 100-year-old building. An open house means you're going to open the door for the community at large to come and walk through. And we all know when you have guests coming over, if it doesn't mean anything, it means that it's time to clean house. It means that it's time to open your eyes wider. Things that you may have gotten used to, maybe it's time to fix those things. You have guests coming over. So we have been working. Can you imagine what it takes to plan 8 events? Furniture has been ordered. The walls have been painted. Detailed cleaning from top to bottom, with Stacy, our custodian, taking lead in that. Yesterday, many people commented how beautiful things looked, how well she had cleaned and done such a beautiful job. The planning work, reservations to be made. Can you imagine? Just the effort it takes to get that done. Inside and outside, Bob Sadoff and his team, arrangements for doors to be painted. And I might say that within 2 hours of that door being painted, it was scratched again. We need keys to open those doors, you know, and keys scratch things. That door, this door, the elevator. There are 5 levels to this building. An elevator that opens at every level. I mean, it has been lights out. Did I mention there are 8 events planned? 8. We just finished event number 3. Today is one of those events. Because when the planning team got together and said, when we open the house up and we have all these events on Saturday, on Sunday we want to have special music. And Tyler said, yes, I will jump on that and I'll pull a team together, and here we are. There's another event around the corner. Mother, daughter, sister, friend event. May the 2nd. It's a Saturday. It'll be another time to lift up the idea that this church, this congregation, this worshiping community has been here for 100 years. And all of that, let's say it out loud, takes a lot of energy. True? Yes, it better be true. All of that takes a lot of energy. And when you are tired, what do you need? Yeah. When you're tired, you need rest. Of course, the kind of rest you need depends on the kind of tired you are. If you need emotional rest because you have been with school children all day and you've been pulling out your hair, even though some of us don't have much left. If you need emotional rest because you have been engaged in that kind of work, then rest for you might be solitude. Rest for you might be quiet. It might be a good book in the backyard. That'll be rest. If you need sensory rest, because you have been bombarded all day with news, things on the screen, and it's just constant, right? Coming at you. You need sensory rest. For you, that kind of rest might be unplugging. It might be turning off the screen. It might be stepping back from social media. That's a very specific kind of rest, depending on the kind of tired you are. If you are tired because you are completely spent and you need, let's say, creativity kind of rest. You need creativity kind of rest. Okay. Maybe the time has come to make something with your hand. Maybe go to the theater, the clay pottery place downtown and turn yourself in, and they give you a piece of clay. Create something. Maybe for you it's art. Maybe go to the gallery and look around. Maybe take a walk in nature to rest, to recover. So the kind of rest depends on the kind of tired you are. Now, if you're physically worn out, maybe what you need is a nap. Maybe what you need is a nap. Maybe what you need is a little yoga to work out some of the kinks. But there is no doubt that the celebration in which we are engaged, while it is exhilarating and a lot of fun, is also demanding. That is truth. I walked through here yesterday, coming through the elevator. I talked with Bob. That was Bob's spot. Gave me the entire spiel of the 2 fundraisers it took to create that elevator, come up the stairs, and on this floor, chapel, library, parlor. There were people there ready to tell the story of Westminster. I just went through like anybody else, and they gave me the spiel. I went upstairs. There's the newly renovated youth room. Margaret was there, told me the story. Next door, what we now call the upper room. Some of you haven't heard. It's now called the upper room. And there, two ladies were ready to tell the story about people who had been married here and Christian education that had happened there. Around the corner was the history room. Two ladies were there with a Bible that was 150 years old. They told me, don't touch it. You're not allowed to touch it. A lot of effort. A lot of effort. So we are tired. Physically tired. Some of us emotionally tired. And then there is something else that I haven't even mentioned. Do you know that it's not possible to get all this done without a few fights along the way? Oh yeah, decisions have to be made. What's the color going to be? The carpet? The furniture, what design will it be? There will be skirmishes, and that takes energy too. All of that rolled together is going on. And so when I was preparing for today, what I kept hearing is, come to me, all you who are weary and tired and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. And you will find out that I'm humble and gentle in heart. We are not the only ones who've ever been tired. Newsflash. And Jesus looked around him. Somewhere in Galilee, there were people that were just tired. Tired, emotionally tired. They were oppressed people. There were people that were hungry. There were people that were gaunted. There were people that were despised. There were people that were ostracized. There were people that were harassed. When Jesus looked around him, he saw people that were weary and carrying heavy burdens. And he said to them, come to me, all of you who are weary, tired, and I will give you rest. He promises rest for us. But the invitation is for us to come. For each person, this rest is going to be different. We'll have to make the effort to learn from him what it is we need to learn in order to get that rest. But our session has made a decision I want you to know about. And here it is. As a church, we are going to take a mini sabbatical. Write this down. We're going to take a mini sabbatical. By the time we have the mother, sister, daughter, friend event on May 2nd, we are going to need a break. And so on Mother's Day, May the 10th, no worship service at Westminster. Woo! What? What? What was that? Somebody just woke up at the back pew right there. May the 10th, Mother's Day, no worship service at Westminster. Wait a minute. Take a break. Do the thing you need to do to be restored. If it's worship you need that day to be restored, great news. There are lots of churches in Topeka. There are a few Presbyterian churches who put a list out. Please, go. You might find me in one of them, sitting in the back, not preaching that day, taking a break. If you find yourself needing a walk that day, do that. If the grandkids are coming home, and the tradition has been always to go to Westminster to have worship service together, and then a big meal that afternoon, there isn't going to be a worship service at Westminster that day. You have 3 weeks' notice to make different plans. But the idea is Sabbath. Sabbath means restoration, wholeness. And that looks different for us in very many different ways. But take this church-wide idea, and I encourage you to find some way to apply it to yourself in your own life. We are not meant to run 100 miles an hour all the time. Some of us don't rest until disease finally forces us on our backs. Sickness. Even God rested on the 7th day. So we are taking a mini sabbatical as a church, whether we like it or not. May the 10th, Mother's Day, no worship service at Westminster.